I don't know if these were like spiritual locks or
of YN locks. Well, those are spirituals as well, but they sent you to the spirits.
Yes. They're in the right, but they can't prove it. And if you go to court, you have to be able to prove. And if you can't prove, then you're done for. So
Yeah, before I go back to the prosecutor part, because basically the reason why they dropped the charges is because they spoke to witnesses. So he probably, and his legal team. So what he probably did when she didn't want to step out, they started probably recording stuff. That's what I guess, and also have witnesses, people that are, let's call them, unbiased or slightly are neutral to document these things. And basically then they talked to the prosecutors, and the prosecutors were basically reviewing the evidence, which means that there was recordings, maybe audio recordings, maybe video recordings, and they weren't convinced that there was a case. Oh well, they were, RJ, when situations like this happen and the prosecutors say they are convinced there was no case, that means that the man was getting uppercut. Which I think is quite interesting, because usually I think this is a thing as well, right? He's the one who's getting, let's call it was abuse, because she ripped out his hair, she was punching him, she was occupying his space in his home.
and while she was in the wrong.
While she was in the wrong, and he decides not to press charges.
That's the thing, right? That's why when you talk about men, how many times do men get hit but don't go to the police? This dude got scratched, apparently.
Yeah,
that's what was said in the first.
Not only scratched, she pulled out his hair.
Yeah.
It doesn't have. It doesn't have.
It didn't even get to that part yet, right? But you know what a hair is? You know what hair is for certain people? It's sacred. I don't know if these were like spiritual locks or
of YN locks. Well, those are spirituals as well, but they sent you to the spirits. Oh man.
But like a woman's hair, imagine if you cut a woman's hair. I mean, that's not even, it's very emotional sometimes.
You want my response to that?
But if you go cut,
you want my response to that? He continues talking like he didn't hear me. She'll buy another wig. I'm just kidding. Don't attack me.
Nah, but it's crazy to hear. Yeah, so now let me just finish my thought. So a man's hair. Yeah. So usually men are pretty low maintenance, but when you have men with locks, it can be style, but it can also be deeper than that. And there have been in the past other similar stories, right, where a woman gets mad at a man and then just cut his dreadlocks. I mean, it's
or other things.
Yeah, I wasn't. That doesn't fit in the story.
Okay,
we're talking about this story.
Okay.
Or maybe with the other things, they tried to go for the hair and missed. Maybe there were locks down there too. I don't know. I don't know. I'm trying to see. I don't know what you want to say, but in any case, so she was abusing, and that's also physical abuse, right? The moment you touch his hair, it's physical.
Yeah, but this is the thing when people say, and that's why the people say majority of the DV cases are man to woman. The reason why the numbers lie, I think, probably in this case, because I think it's more 50-50. Technically, it's even if he defended himself, a lot of times people turn that into an attack. when a man tries to defend himself in situations where he's being attacked, he strikes back to, let's say, create space, protect himself, and then it's a charge because he tried to defend himself. And that's a lot of times what is wrong about the numbers. But the numbers may not reflect the reality. In this case, that majority of the DV cases tend to be man versus woman. Rather, it's more like 50-50. Mainly towards the fact that I mean, a lot of times I think this is something I've noticed, but maybe you can tell more about that a lot of young women tend to be very aggressive these days.
I think, I don't know if aggressive is the word. I think they're very possessive.
Aggressive, as in
ready
to
aggression.
scrap up.
Yeah, I mean that's hood things. That's different.
Okay.
Those are the women that we get that are shown on TV.
I'm talking about the general. I'm talking about those shows.
I don't
Those shows
think that-
they send the lowest of the lowest.
Well, to be fair, we are living in a very tense period, right? So everything, there's a lot of tension always between sexes, between races, between races.
Maybe she's in her masculine energy.
You know, KaiR?
What is a masculine energy?
You know
Is
how
that
many tension? No,
scrapping up with a
before
man
we
as
get
well?
there, well, a lot of things are race, right? Race related. You know how many tension there is between Max Verstappen and Lewis Hamilton? You also have tension between like generations, tension between political parties. It's crazy. So everything is tensed. So everyone is like on a ready to go. So I don't think that's necessarily a woman thing, but I do think that a lot of people in general are possessive. They want to control, and you can't, I always say, well, I don't always say it, but love does not control. So loving someone might mean telling that person, hey,
kick rocks.
you got to go.
Like JD, like the JD kid. He told his girlfriend kick rocks. Yo, this man is crazy. Yo, 50 years old.
This dude got power and now he's done for. My girlfriend,
He's
she
power
gone.
drunk. She's calm. Told her to kick rocks. No, continue.
So it's very, there's a lot of tension, but I do think that it's power, it's a possessive thing. So she did what she wanted to do. She had affairs or an affair or multiple affairs behind his back while he was ready to marry her. And now she doesn't want to leave.
Yeah, that's crazy, man.
And it seems like, as you said, maybe, I mean, from the story, it does seem like she was trying to bait him into.
Of course. Why
her.
else wouldn't you leave? Why else wouldn't you leave and try to instigate a fight?
Because she saw that she realized all the things that she would lose.
So what does she want? A payout. She wants a care package, but a forced one. And if he lifts his hands and strikes her, it's an easy payout.
To be fair, from hearing the story, I think Xavier was the care package. The other package was actually doing the damage.
Hey man, it's crazy.
He was caring for her.
Yeah, he cared for her. I mean,
to say
look
something,
at this. It's clear. It's clear that the guy wanted to.
I can't.
You might
get
be
over
right. This is exactly.
And you can see that she's not. Well. To me, this seems more like a chore, to be honest. It's like, let me get this over with. But that's what they're also trying to warn Travis Hunter.
This might be Travis Hunter 1.0.
Because he's already been complaining, saying, "What am I supposed to do?" And Hunter is a good kid, man. He's a great kid.
He's a great kid. That's why
And
people try to warn him.
He's a young man. He's a young man. He's elite. I hope his game can transition. But this is basically the what they're trying to warn him of. But hopefully this doesn't happen to him. And if it doesn't, then the
Good
better. But if it does, then it's okay as well. It's okay. Just take the L and keep it pushing, because you have a bright. So he has a bright future. He has a bright. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I hope he doesn't Kurt Cobain. I just think
Kurt Cobain. Let's not hope it turns into OJ. Kurt Cobain did it to himself. OJ did it to allegedly. Allegedly, he did it to someone else.
You could have used Hernandez, because OJ was.
Well, Hernandez. Well,
he was not found guilty.
Well,
he was not found guilty. So
yeah, but
he was not found guilty.
Yes.
So under the eyes of the law, he was innocent.
Yes.
He lost a civil case, but that's something else.
Yes, I guess he was not guilty. They almost caught him with everything in his hand, but I guess he was not guilty. You're right. Yeah. They caught him also hours with his pants down at the crime scene. Hey guys, let us know in the comments what you think about this crazy story, man. Do you think the law enforcement handled this case correctly? Should the NFL investigate further, or is this a closed case? Does this tell the story of every high-profile man that has to be very careful whoever they get involved in? And also, last but not least, does this mean that let's say a young, talented athlete should be very wary who they try to marry or involve with? Try to postpone the marriage as long as possible, so you can assess if that person is really there for you, or you're just the money back and the package is being delivered by someone else.